all of us have been reading about, young children, preteens, not able to cope with stress, having a lot of anxiety issues, and going to the extent of committing suicide. And these are children who've been to schools where our children have been, or we have been to these schools, and facing the kind of things which all of us probably faced, bullying at the playground, or pressure by teachers, homework nahi kiya, kitab nahi diya, didn't submit assignments, or somebody called you motu, somebody beat you up in the playground, didn't give you permission to go to the washroom. These kind of things, which I don't know why, but I feel that our generation or the subsequent generations probably had the wherewithal to deal with this crisis or something like that. But now the children don't have it. So I wanted to find out from you both that what do you think is the reason for this low bandwidth, should I say? I'm not being critical of either parents, families, or the children, but something is not working out, which is resulting in our children going into this crisis mode. So I'd like to begin with you, Bhavna, to explain to me what you think it is the reason.
See, I think you've brought up a very pertinent theme in itself, because these days, yes, stress, which was unheard of, at least in childhood, has become very, very rampant in the society today. And I would say that this stress is a combination of a lot of factors. It starts, first of all, at the family level itself. The family expectations of the children have become very different. It moves on to the societal foundation of how people are seeing success and how success is being correlated with students with their grades and not really a holistic development. So the focus has now become very achievement oriented, very competitive, and that brings about a lot of academic pressure on the child. And because of the academic pressure, they start going through many, many different types of initial stress responses, which the society, the family, and even sometimes the school, the teachers, the peers go unnoticed with. And when those get unnoticed, they are the initial red flags, then they emerge into actual clinical concerns. And that's why we are seeing that the amount of mental health challenges that even young students at the primary level, moving on to the middle school level, are facing has immensely gone up. And then eventually it leads into things like self-harm, harm to others. So I think it's very, very important to begin with, as a society, to be aware of what are some of the signals that the children are giving to us, that they're moving from the lines of balance to the lines of imbalance in itself. So I would say that we should look at about 4 broad categories. The first one could be the physical symptomatology that the child brings to the surface, which could be in the form of even a disturbed sleep-wake cycle, what we call as insomnia. So there are 3 types of insomnias that come about, especially with students. One is called initial insomnia, that they want to sleep at a particular point of time, but they're not able to. So they keep tossing and turning in bed, and then of course our screen time debilitates that even further. So they want to sleep, they're not able to sleep, or they want to sleep for a particular tenure and middle insomnia comes up. They keep waking up in the middle of the night. And then terminal insomnia. They want to get up at a particular point of time, but they wake up much earlier. So your sleep-wake cycle is the first indicator. Second indicator could be your appetite disturbance. Sometimes students start eating a lot more. There's weight gain that gets noticed much later. Sometimes the students stop eating and there's weight loss that starts happening. There are different types of aches and pains that the student or the child expresses, but then we just ward it off as if it is nothing and, just get going with it. But that is psychosomatic. So at the somatic level, these are few signals that the child is giving. At the emotional level, sometimes they internalize the stress and get into, what we call as a depressive phase. Sometimes they externalize their stress into anxieties or into short temper, irritability, displacing of their anger. Sometimes the cause is something else, but the anger outburst is coming out on trivial issues, on some other people, on some other things which are not related to the actual cause. But this is noticeable, which we somewhere tend to ignore. The third aspect is our cognitive signals that the child gives. Cognitively, we will see that their attention concentration is coming down, their focus is coming down, their memory is coming down, retaining or forgetfulness is becoming an issue. Procrastination, that what they need to do today, they keep postponing. And then the fourth signal that they give us is in their behavioral sphere. In the behavioral sphere, students may not want to go to school. They start absenting themselves from school, giving various lame excuses or real excuses. There's social avoidance. What they were originally finding pleasure in, they stop getting into those kind of things. Sometimes they also have an increased use of substances, even if it could be tea, coffee. It could be other substances at the middle and the senior school. So I think we need to be very, very aware that there are signals that are coming. And we need to be sensitive to those signals so that we catch them young. Not only the students, we catch them young, but also the signals that they're giving to us. We catch them young to prevent a mental health epidemic from coming, which is absolutely rampant, especially with students in times of today.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा।
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है।
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब।
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप।
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI, it does not lie.